What's up, guys? I've got a couple of rods here I picked up at our local Academy Sports on clearance, and I just figured I would let everybody know that they're running their clearance right now on their fishing gear, at least at our local store, so yours probably is too if you have one near you. I picked up a couple of bargains, and I just wanted to show y'all what I'd found, and maybe you can find something that would interest you too. The first rod I'm going to show you, it's the Tournament Choice rods, and this is a classic edition, and on the label it says it's a durable fiberglass blank, which we use all fiberglass rods pretty much. We've used graphite in the past, and we always seem to manage to break the tip sections on graphite rods, and a lot of that has to do with the way that we fish out of kayaks and throwing rods in the back of the truck and things like that. So we always have better luck with glass rods as far as durability goes. They're not as sensitive, but the newer glass rods are more sensitive than some of the older ones. They use a higher density fiberglass, so it transmits vibrations better. So they're not too far off from graphite, but there is a difference that you'd notice, I'm sure. Fiberglass rods aren't for everybody, but this one right here, if you are interested in trying out a glass rod, if you can find these right now, these are normally $17, which isn't bad, but they've got them marked down to $4.98 right now. That is really cheap, and it's actually a decent rod. I'll show you a little bit about it here. Okay, I've got all the tags and things off of this rod. It had plastic shrink wrap over the cork. This is actually a pretty nice rod. It's their classic edition. The model number on this particular one is TCC-60MS, and it's just a good all-around size for a lot of different types of fishing. It's a 6-foot spinning rod and can be used with between 8 and 14 pound test line, and on your lure weight it can go between 1/8 of an ounce and 3/8 of an ounce. So it's just kind of a good general purpose rod. It's got a hook keeper, and the wraps are actually pretty good on this rod. They're actually nicer than some really expensive rods I've seen, but the finish on the wraps is kind of a football shape, which is pretty common on cheaper rods. It uses a split grip, cork grip setup here, and just a cork butt. The reel seat looks to me like it's graphite. It moves real smooth in and out. It's actually pretty nice as far as graphite reel seats go. And nothing special on the guides. It just uses stainless steel guide frames and ceramic inserts. And although there's nothing special about that, they're functional and they work well. And this rod's kind of a medium action rod. It's not a heavy rod, but with a fiberglass blank, they're very rugged and durable. So you could actually fish for larger fish than you would with a graphite blank of the same action. So anyway, that's just a decent little rod. It's put together well. Actually, all the guides line up really well on this one. I don't know if they're all made of the same standard or not, but sometimes on the cheaper rods it'll vary somewhat from rod to rod. And hopefully this will show up. I actually like this matte finish, on this green colored matte finish on this rod. It looks pretty nice to me. So anyway, for $5, if you're looking for a glass rod, they have these in casting rods and spinning rods at the store I was at. They only had one of the spinning rods, and I went in there a few weeks before and they had several of them. So apparently I kind of thought I was the only one using glass rods anymore, but apparently I'm not. This was the only one that they had left, but it was in good shape, so I picked this one up for $5. I couldn't buy the reel seat and the cork for $5 if I was rebuilding the older rod. So that's a bargain to me. This is the second rod I want to talk about. It's a Tournament Choice, and it's called Roughneck. Again, this is their house brand of rods. And this one's a really nice rod. It's got a solid tip fiberglass blank and the high density EVA grips, which I'm not big on foam grips. They tend to break down over time and with UV exposure, and they get kind of crumbly. But, you know, for what I paid for this rod, I'm not too worried about it. There's the little roughneck logo thing there. And the guides are stainless steel frames and inserts. So apparently the inserts are stainless steel, if this marketing material here is correct. It's hard for me to tell the difference between stainless steel inserts and aluminum oxide by eye. What I might do is just check it with a magnet. I've got a rare earth magnet here. I'm just going to check and see if that marketing material is right that's on the rod. So I'd say there's a good chance that those are actually a lower grade stainless steel insert, which is really nice. They're durable and they hold up really well, and they're lightweight too. I was really impressed with this rod in the store. I'll be using this for some heavier catfishing, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these tags off of this one and see what the rod looks like. All right, we got the tags off of there. As you can see, it's their Tournament Choice brand, Roughneck. The model number on this one is RN66MHS. It's a 6.5 foot medium heavy duty, 8 to 17 pound test. And then the lure weight's between 1/4 and 3/4 of an ounce. And I checked this rod out in the store and I was really impressed. Like I said, I'm not big on the foam grips. They do work, they do their job. And they feel nice. It's just the durability over the long haul is what I don't really like about them. But there's a hook keeper right there. And I really like these guides. These guides look like they're good quality, rugged guides. And I really think these will hold up well. There's the second guide. Third. Fourth. Fifth. And then there's the tip. And this does have, I don't know how well this will show up on camera, but it does have a solid fiberglass tip section, and I believe the butt section's tubular fiberglass. And the sensitivity on this one is really good. I always do a tap test when I'm in the stores, and I'll hold the grip, and I will either touch it myself or I will have someone in my family touch the tip for me and just give it a little tap. And if you can feel the vibrations in the handle, that's a pretty good indicator of what the sensitivity is like on the rod. And this one transmits vibrations really well down through the handle. So I was really impressed with that. And what this really reminds me of in the construction of it is, it really reminds me of the Shakespeare Ugly Sticks, which I think are some of the better rods you can get for the money. If this holds up as well as the Ugly Sticks do, then this is really going to be a bargain, because as you can see here, these are normally $20 and I paid $7.48 for this rod. So I just wanted to show you those two rods. I think those are really good values for what you pay for them. I think these rods would be really good values even at full price. They seem to be well-made rods. I'm going to check on durability, of course. I'll find that out. But I suspect they're going to be pretty good. I don't think I'm going to have any problems with them. They just seem to be like they're actually pretty well made. And for the price you pay, full price would be okay. But golly, y'all, I mean, these are two nice rods, and I've got about $12.50 tied up in two good quality rods. Can't beat that. So you might go out and check your local Academy Sports if you got one nearby. Of course, they're not paying me to say this, but every time at this time of year they start putting things on clearance ridiculously cheap. You just got to keep your eyes open when you're in the store and see what they've got, because you'll find some great values right now. One rod that I did not pick up, but I know a lot of you would probably be interested in, is they had some of their classic All-Stars that were spinning rods. They had those marked as low as $20, which is below half price from what they normally sell for. They usually sell those for about $50. So at $20, that's an incredible value. And I probably should have bought some, but I really don't use graphite anymore. We're too hard on our rods, and with kids and between me and my wife and throwing things around and getting kayaks in and out of the back of the truck, and our rods and everything gets beat up. So fiberglass is the way to go for us personally. So get out there and see what you can find. You might find you a bargain too.